Ladies and gentlemen, I found another one. 2022 Ram 3500 dually with a mega cab configuration. I found one. It's hard to find these trucks though. They have two at Criswell here in Thurmont. Get them while you can. They actually have a black one. I couldn't find a key to that one. I prefer darker colors on the mega dually. I think it looks so much more like girthy. It looks like a Tonka truck. But as you guys know, we're going to do a walk around with this truck. I'm going to show you guys the interior and exterior, and I'm going to show you the payload as well. But before we do all that, let's go ahead and take a look at the window sticker. As I mentioned outside, this is going to be a 2022 Ram 3500 Limited Longhorn Mega Cab 4-wheel drive. This base price is not going to include dual rear wheels. Here's a quick listing of the standard equipment. It's a short listing because there's not enough space to put everything on here. And then down below starts the options. This does have the towing technology group, cold weather group, and then max tow. And then up top here, it continues with the max tow with that 30K fifth wheel hitch. This is a Kurt rebrand with Mopar, so just keep that in mind. Body color bumper group was $395. Tow mode digital rear view mirror package. And then Longhorn level 1 equipment group. Just below that, you do have that high output Cummins and instrument panel mounted auxiliary switches. This one does have the dual rear wheels, as I mentioned, $14.95. So if you want to add that to the base, this will give you a better price point. And then chrome tow hooks is $95. Trailer surround view camera system is $995 with the destination at $17.95. Total price is $92,280. A lot of people ask me, what are the differences between a limited Longhorn and a limited? So one thing that I've found is when you look at a limited and a Longhorn, the biggest differences are typically the grills and the interior. That's really the only major differences. Now, as you can see on this truck, you do have a more bolder grill design versus the limited. In Texas, they have a Lone Star. Here in other states, you have what's called the Bighorn. So that's kind of what this is too. This is more of like that Texas, cowboy look if you're looking for that type of truck. Now, this truck does have a painted front bumper, which is an option. It does share the same headlights as the Limited. I love that Ram did that. You can tell their trucks apart based off the headlights, and that's something that you don't see from other manufacturers. They typically give them maybe 2 headlight designs. This truck has like 5 or 6 because you have a blacked out headlight. You also have this one. You have the LED reflective style headlights, and then you have just the regular halogen headlights. So there's so many different designs, and you can tell them apart based off of this one thing. And you know what they say in Texas, everything is bigger, and this is a big, bold front grille. Like, I love the design. It does have a forward-facing camera. You have the chrome tow hooks below. Ram does a good job hiding the parking sensors. They have them around the reflective style LED fog light built into the grille up front. And man, just check out those headlights one more time. You do have a LED daytime running light, and then you have a projector. Now this does swivel left to right. You also have LED turn signals too. I would like to see Ram add auto leveling, because when you put a heavy load on the back of this truck, the headlights are going to go up, and these headlights are bright, so when you're going down the road and you don't adjust them, you're going to tick off a lot of people. Unfortunately, these trucks have just arrived, so they're basically like in ship mode. So as you can see on these wheels, they're missing some things. You're missing a fender flare. The cap that goes on the wheel and the fender flare on the back is a little too wide, so they do ship them without those functions. You do have an aluminum wheel here. It does have like an alcohol design. I'm not sure if they're actual alcohol wheels. And solid front axle. Ram is notorious of using cheap tires. Nexen tires, I'm not saying they're bad tires, but I would like to see something a little bit more, name brand when you're spending $100,000. And then I didn't show this on the last video I did on a limited night edition, but here are some of the capacities for those tires. 100 PSIs, 3,085 capacity for the front, and then dual is 2835 a piece out back. Now, I do notice something that's slightly different from the Limited, is you do have a fixed running board. On the Limited, it comes standard with power deployable. And you do have a really bold badge. They did change the name from Laramie Longhorn to Limited Longhorn. And I guess the reason why they did is because I feel like this truck is more in line with the Limited versus the Laramie. You have a chrome mirror up top here. And they do have cameras on each side of the mirrors. So this does have a 360 camera view. You also have your clearance lamps up top. It's a really beautiful truck. I love this stubby dually look. I know people hate it. They don't know why Ram would make a short bed dually. Let me tell you why they make a short bed dually. Because they can. Look at how fat that rear end looks. It looks so good with that short bed. Oh my goodness. And when you see them like lift it with bigger like tires, like 37s, it just really hits home. That's when you really love the look of a mega cab dually with that short bed. There is one downside to having a mega cab dually, and I'm going to answer it in another video. I'm going to compare a long bed and short bed dually coming soon. I did it probably about a year ago, so I feel like it's time to do it again. This truck does have the max tow, so it's going to have air suspension. So your leaf spring setup is going to be different on this truck. It's going to be the same for the high output and the standard when you have airbags out back. But if you don't have the airbag system, the high output does have an additional overload leaf spring over the standard output, which has the overload leaf springs at the top. I'll show you a comparison just so you can see what I'm talking about. But it's really complex with Rams. Like, they really do a good job like making sure that their trucks are known for towing heavy and working hard. Now out back, LED taillights, large Limited Longhorn edition badge. Wow, a lot going on back here. You do have a camera for your conventional hitch, and there's a backup camera. Class 5 receiving hitch. You do have parking sensors built into this plastic piece, so you can't really see them. You have an additional sensor for your dually bed side, and of course with the higher trim levels, you're gonna have assisted tailgate too. They do give you a new standards plug right here, 7-pin. You can turn on these LED lights when the truck's not in ship mode. And look at that big boy 30K fifth wheel hitch. So when you get that max tow, you get this bad boy too. They do give you a power plug too. I forgot to mention this. You do have a power plug, which is new. And you have 2 camera views up top, one for your high definition rear view mirror and then one for the bed. Unfortunately, I can't show it to you because the truck's in ship mode. Sorry. I had someone that wanted me to show them a little bit more of this hitch, so hopefully you're still watching my channel. But I'm not going to take it out, of course. But it's pretty easy to probably set up and break down. It doesn't look like it's too heavy. You do have some grab handles on each side of it too, and it just sits inside the puck system on all 4 corners. But yeah, you have jaws on both sides to lock in that kingpin. So here's the bright white in the shade. This is my favorite color for the whites for Ram. They have a pearl paint. It's not truly a pearl, it's more like a cream looking color. I don't like it personally. I think it looks kind of tacky. They should do what GM does. GM has the best pearl paint, and I think that they should definitely, step their game up on that color for next model year for the true 5th gen. I forgot to mention too, this is how you know if you have air suspension. Now, if someone peels the sticker off, there is a sensor on each side. You can see it right here. That's the sensor for the air suspension. So if you're ever wondering if a truck has air suspension, that's how you would know. And there's one on this side too, right there. So here is the MVP for the diesel engines for the heavy duty trucks. 6.7 liter turbo diesel, made it to an Eisen transmission. I like this engine the best is because it does have less moving parts, and it does kind of mirror the design of the semis, and it doesn't need the balancers, things like that too, like the V8s do. And it is made it to a reliable Eisen transmission. As I've said in the past, it's not a comfortable transmission. It's very clunky, It's not great unloaded, but boy, when you put a load behind this truck, you know why they use that Eisen transmission. But this truck does put down 1,075 pound-feet of torque, 420 horsepower, so it's definitely going to really get any load you have up and moving quickly. You also do have an option for a dual alternator setup. I don't know why, I just prefer having a dual alternator setup when I see 2 batteries, so I would definitely get that option if you're building a truck. I did a video on a Ford F-250 with a King Ranch trim package, and I thought it was really nice. When you look at a Ram Limited Longhorn, you're really reminded that the King Ranch just isn't as nice. This is just wow. It's not about the look, it's really the quality. It's the fit and finish, and you can clearly tell that this is just a better truck. Now don't get me wrong, I do like the King Ranch still, but if you want a cowboy truck, I think that Ram's doing it better. I will be fair, Ford has always done good with their interiors. I think that they're probably the leaders up until this point. In 2019, when Ram redesigned this truck, I think that they took everyone by storm. I think that cars got better because of what Ram did. And this is a beautiful interior. And you have that cowboy look checked everywhere. But leather is real on the seats. You also have real wood trim pieces around the interior too. And the two-tone look is just beautiful. This saddle is just amazing. I mean, you can't say anything negative about this interior unless you just don't like this design. This is the best of the best. But yeah, check that out, guys. Just beautiful stuff. Yeah, if you want the cowboy truck, the cowboy experience, the Longhorn is going to do it for you. Now, as I mentioned in the last video, this truck is still in ship mode. Now, I'm gonna make someone really angry in the comment section. Someone's gonna say something really mean to me. You're an idiot. Why would you pull this off? Blah 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 blah. Well, the reason why I can pull this off is because it's gonna get pulled off anyway. So before you start crying to me about what I'm doing, just know that it's gonna happen anyway. So don't get so mad about nothing. So this does have that push button start, and it's just all around this beautiful wood trim piece and this little metal design here. Yeah, that's metal. Diesel has to heat up real quickly. It was 48 degrees earlier today, so yeah, there it is. Yeah, this isn't going to work, unfortunately, but you do have this high definition mirror. Don't get mad, guys. Don't get mad. Now, I haven't seen this in a while, so this does have the auxiliary switches here, and you do have the buttons as opposed to like the little buttons you push down. I kind of like that a little bit better. I wish they would have done what Ford did, put these auxiliary switches like up here. I hope they do that in the future. I think that Ford has the coolest auxiliary switches to date. Do you see the design of this wood here? When you touch it, you can actually feel the design too. That's because this is real wood. No other truck does that in this market. I mean, this is just really nice stuff. And when you step up to a Limited Longhorn and Limited, they do give you coverage for your cup holders and for your little storage for your coin holders too. If you get a Laramie down, this is all exposed. This does slide to give you a bigger compartment down below. Now, some people don't know this. There is a max fill line, and someone thought this was for a cooler box. So I just want to just make that clarification for you really quickly. This is for if you do put stuff in here, you can't allow it to go above this line because this slides, and of course it won't slide if you have stuff that's tall back here. And some people might think that it gets broken if they can't slide it all the way back, so that's why they give you that fill line. Tons of USBs, a little storage here for a phone. And yeah, like I said, this interior is just on another level. Slightly large compartment storage here with a USB. And did I mention that these seats were real leather? I think I did. Check out your shifter. It's all finished in leather. You also have leather on your grab handles too. Now this truck does not have a sunroof, which I'm surprised by, but it is available with that. I did show this to you guys in another video, so we'll just go through this really quickly, okay? So we're gonna go to number one first. That way you guys can kind of see the order of this. So it starts off with a speedometer. You also have vehicle information, tire pressure, and if you don't know, they show you tire pressure for all 6 wheels, coolant, transmission, oil pressure, boost pressure, diesel particulate filter, oil life, fuel filter life, battery voltage, exhaust brake. My favorite gauge summary for coolant, transmission, oil temp, and oil pressure. It's really good for when you're towing. And then your engine hours. Back to this. Off-road. Love that they give you a dual rear wheel look of that too. And then you have for your pitch and roll. Fuel economy. Then you have your trip information. For your trailer tow, you do have a distance that you travel with your trailer. You can set up multiple trailers and it'll show you distance for each trailer. Gain for your trailer brake, you can reduce that or increase it. And then you have a trailer light check. You have a menu for audio, messages, screen setup, and then the additional one is for your commercial settings because of your auxiliary switches. The code is going to be 0000. And then you can set up your auxiliary switches, you can do a pin setup, all that good stuff. I'm going to do a video following up with this truck. I'm going to compare the mega cab and the crew cab because there's a dually long bed here, and I got to do a video on both these trucks while they're here. So stay tuned for that. So we won't go over this in this video, so be on the lookout for the next video, okay? But the interior is still the same. And that's the last thing I'll show you. You have a nice little belt buckle on that back seat. Alright, so you guys know what we're going to do next, right? Look at the numbers. So here are the numbers for this truck. Gross axle weight rating in the front, 6,000 pounds. Gross axle weight rating in the rear, 9,750 pounds with a 14,000 pound gross fuel weight rating. All-in payload capacity is going to be 4,956 pounds. So that's actually not bad. Now, I believe when they weigh these trucks, I could be wrong, I believe when they weigh these trucks, it does get weighed with that 5th wheel hitch. I believe. Don't hold me to it though. But nevertheless, I mean, having just under 5,000 pounds, you could probably top out with a 3,900 pound pin weighted trailer and be fine. You'll have more than enough weight. The thing that I would probably recommend though is if you're trying to go with that kind of pin weight though, a long bed would be better for stability. And of course, when you're buying a big truck like this, you would like to not have any sacrifices. If you're buying this truck, I would definitely skip the 5th wheel prep package, because if you want to tow a big 5th wheel, I would just go ahead and get a, what do you call it? You can either get a offset ball if you don't get this puck system, or you can get a sliding hitch if you do plan on towing a 5th wheel. That way you have enough space here to make 90-degree turns. Like if I get a dually, I'm not getting a 5th wheel prep package if I get the mega cab dually, because I want to be able to have a little bit more function where I can, you know, set my trailer back a little bit and still be able to make 90-degree turns. But hey guys, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys soon.